Hello, welcome to Grumpy Plumber. Today we are going to break down when you should call a plumber versus do-it-yourself, DIY style. Dad Jim is going to go through some basic plumbing things at your house to see if you can fix it yourself, which I bet you can. Hi, I'm Jordan. This is my dad Jim.
Usually I get a lot of questions about when can I fix it myself? Well, if you're asking that question, I figure you can do it, okay? So like if there's a drippy faucet, that drip, 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 you gotta look at the faucet. First thing is, how good a faucet is it? How long have you had it? If it's a cheap faucet, you know, it might be a little hard to take it apart, it might be hard to find the parts for it, but if it's a good faucet, usually you can find the parts, like a Delta, a Moen, a Kohler, American Standard, a Grohe, you know, those faucets are good faucets and there's always parts out there, which I recommend the OEM parts. Now, if it's too bad and you think about it, you know, if you called somebody in to fix it and he doesn't bring one with you, you're gonna pay for him to run to the supply house. You're gonna pay for him going to get parts. So you might as well just buy a faucet, and if you don't think you can put it in, then have him do it. It's in and out, okay? That's your cheapest way to do it.
So that's the first one. You got a drippy faucet, try to fix it yourself. If it's a good quality faucet, you can get the parts for it.
Yeah, you can get the, you know, I walk through Home Depot and I see they carry a lot of parts, and maybe there's a local plumbing supply that carries a lot of parts on certain faucets and stuff. The next thing would, you know, leak. Okay, now, a leak at a kitchen is usually the pull-out spray is not tight enough.
Hang on, what's the difference between a drip and a leak? Drip is
just drip, drip. A leak is really causing a major problem, okay? Like, maybe you have to get a boat. No, just kidding. But a leak is pretty much a running water, or, you know, you've got a leak, usually it's underneath maybe a kitchen sink, or I was just saying the pull-out spray hose on these new faucets. Everybody's got a pull-out on it. Well, where it connects, the hose connects to the head, a lot of times they leak because you put it in and you turn it and it loosens them up on it. I mean, I've fixed hundreds of those just by going over and tightening it up on it.
So literally just...
Yeah, you just need a tightener or a little pair of pliers and channel lock, just give it a little tweak on it and you got it. But it might leak again, but at least you know. And usually you can tell when you find water underneath the kitchen sink, because that water will run a lot of times to the back and down the back of that, inside the spout, and it'll leak down below. Now, if it might be the drain, nowadays all these drains are usually done in plastic, and they're great. They're great, because usually just about hand tighten a plastic drain. You very seldom get a plug drain, you know? They only plug on TVs. You know, if it's gonna plug, it's gonna plug in the main drain line. The 1.5 inch going down the wall, the 2 inch. 2 inches is pretty big, but 1.5 inch, you know.
And that's when you call a plumber.
That's when you got to call somebody to fix it.
So going back, but if you have a leak in your drain system, just check
all your joints.
It up.
Check all. Okay. A lot of times those plastic washers, they're a beveled washer. They're called a bevel washer, and they go in the direction of the drain. Get what I mean? So the drain pipe, whatever the water is flowing, that's it. But they can break. They'll split and break, and then you got a leak. But
then maybe take that apart and look at it.
Take it apart, and you can check them all out, and just go and buy it. You can buy them 3 or 4 at a time. They're not very expensive. That's a way to fix that problem on it. Moving to another thing, like a water heater. What to look for on a water heater when you find water on the floor? Well, the first thing you want to do is probably either check the top of it and see if on the supplies, a lot of times everything is hooked up with flexible supplies now instead of hard piping it in. But if you got an old setup, you know, the guy hard piped it, you know, it's too bad. I'm sorry for that guy. But you can check that, or you can check, I always would go down to the bottom and just inside, you always see the little cover on the front of the heater. Just reach in there and touch and see if you feel water.
Inside, that's the flame box area?
Yeah, in the flame box, but it's sealed nowadays, okay? But there'll still be water in there. If you feel water in there, usually it's leaking on the inside of it. But if you don't feel any water, you go back up to the top and you check the supply lines. You could even check the relief valve, where the overflow on the relief valve that runs to the floor. And if it just goes down 2 inches off the floor, see if that's dripping or not.
So in the flame box, if you find water in the flame box,
usually you got a leak inside the heater.
And can they fix that themselves? Or
no, you can't fix a water heater, okay?
All right. And how about the dripping off the pressure relief valve?
You can change the relief valve.
Okay.
Just change the relief valve on it. You know, if it's, I get a lot of questions about my water heater is 15, 18 years old. Should I change it? No. Why don't you, if you're worried so much about it, go to the hardware store and get a water alarm. A water alarm looks like about the size of a pack of cigarettes, okay? And you just sit it right by the water heater. You might check and see the water flow, but it can take a drop of water and it sets off an alarm like you can't believe.
What if the water heater doesn't reaching temperature anymore, or it's too cold? Is that...
Well, that's the thing too. Now, years ago, we had what we called thermocouples, okay? They would go bad. Water heater could last a long time. Thermocouple would go bad. It only was like a 10-minute job to change it. You could reach in, if you were good at it, you yank it out, put them on our way in, run the line up to the gas valve, and that's it. Well, nowadays they're all different. If it's a power vent, that's got a spark ignition on it. If it's a standard water heater you buy that's got a regular metal vent on it, they have an enclosed box and they usually have a special thermocouple. They're gas sensitive or whatever.
Yeah, so is your point that they shouldn't try to change it?
No, you shouldn't. So they're time consuming. First off, you got to find the parts. You could call the manufacturer and they might send it to you. And if it's in warranty, they probably give it to you. And then you could do it. But it's up to you. How handy are you? You know, that's the big thing. How handy you want to do it. I mean, if you're like me, I try everything. I hate waiting for people. So I will try anything there is. And if I make a mistake, so what?
I had a brand new electric Rheem water heater and it kept having problems, and I called the manufacturer every time and they could walk me through it, and I fixed it 3 times. Even one time the whole power box failed on it, they just sent me a new one. It's pretty easy. So yeah, how about toilets?
Well, first off, you got the everything on the inside. You got a fill valve and you got a flush valve on it. Now they're changing. You know, Kohler's got a canister type. Growe's got a canister that's much different. Kohler's got one with a gasket on the bottom. It's pretty easy to change it. You just got to pull the whole canister out, which is, you can push down on the top where the tube goes in, and you turn it and that unlocks it, and you pull that out and put a new gasket there.
So you're talking about like a running toilet?
Yeah, running toilet. If it's running.
We have a whole playlist down below of like how to fix a running toilet. Mm-hmm. So that's totally something you could do yourself, not call the plumber. Yeah, you can get those parts in, especially if it has a flapper. Mm-hmm. And if the fill valve is running all the time or chattering or making a noise, a lot of them come with Fluid Master in them. Now, Kohler uses Fluid Master, a lot of companies. You know, I think even Gerber and all those guys are using those Fluid Master ball cocks. And they're very easy. They got a ring in them. You pull the ring up and pull the whole top off. And so you don't have to disconnect the water. You don't have to drain the tank. And you just set it at the water level, 3/4 inches below the overflow tube. And you can get those at any hardware store, those fluid things. How about if it's a plug toilet?
Oh, if it's plug. You don't need a plunger anymore. Throw your plunger away, because the toilets are designed that the plunger really doesn't fit it. Get yourself a closet auger. They're probably about $50, but if you're always plunging the toilets because you got kids or something, they work much better, a closet auger. And you might think they're kind of messy, but you clean it, and if you get the debris broken loose, just flush the toilet a few times and that will clean it. Then stick it in the bathtub, rinse it off, hang it back up for the next time. In matter of fact, if you have a shower, they're great at cleaning shower drains, because the shower drain has a 2-inch trap in it, and they'll work their way through, and boy, they'll do a good job. They can clean for about 6 feet on them.
What if you can't unplug it with a closet auger?
Then you're into calling a drain cleaning guy.
Plumber.
Okay, plumber. Drain cleaning guy, yeah. It depends, that's another thing. Plumbers, in my day, a lot of plumbers didn't clean drains. We didn't want the equipment, we didn't do it. And we depended on drain cleaners, but the drain cleaner was our responsibility, the plumber. We were in charge of that guy. Mm. Well, nowadays, they claim they all have licenses, so they kind of go out there and watch out for your wallet on that. But yeah, so there's like next thing we're gonna move to is like a solder line is dripping, okay?
So if you can't a leak in the pipe.
A leak in a
pipe. A leak in a copper pipe or a PEX pipe.
Right, or a galvanized pipe. You can get if you got old galvanized, they'll leak, but hopefully nowadays there's not a lot of that around anymore. But even copper, it does leak. It'll get a pinhole in it, especially if it's on a circulation line. They get it. But the easiest way to fix that is use those shark bites. You can cut the line, you couple it together, and you got a good source, it's a good fix. Maybe not permanent fix, but a lot of people, once they put it in, they don't touch it. So I put that in the category of permanent
so
fix.
if you don't want to solder the pipe, like weld it,
Yep.
then you can use these shark bites to fix the leak.
Yep. And PEX tubing, if you have the Apex, you need the tool, the expansion tool. The B-PEX takes a clamp. Yeah, they're about $400, $500. You know, if you're going to redo a house or do it, buy one, use it, then resell it. A lot of guys do that. Then do-it-yourselfers on things. So, but that gives you an idea. You know, there's a lot of things you can do yourself unless you want to hire it done. And I mean, I get everybody sends us questions. A lot of ladies will send us and ask questions, and next thing you know, they call or they'll send us an arm back. Thanks for the help, and I fixed it. So, you know, it's good to learn how to do things yourself.
Okay, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions for Grumpy Plumber, leave them down in the comment section below. We have a whole bunch of videos down below on how to fix a lot of these common issues so you can do it yourself. Thanks so much for watching.
Hey, if you can't do it, you know, ask the neighbor kid. He can probably do it.